Harriet, it's really wonderful to have you here with me at Your World or Mine. Show me yours and I'll show you mine.
Beautiful.
So Harriet, I'm from another universal reality. And it's the first time that I visit your world and your reality here. So the purpose of us playing together today is really for me to understand a little bit about your world. And that you can tell it, that we can share with my world as well and my reality. And that way we can play across both worlds and co-create and do wonderful stuff, but also learn from each other and just experience a different perspective, a different way of doing things. Because in my galaxy, that's what we love doing. And it's all about play. So it's nothing serious. It's all relaxed and joyful, and whatever comes up happens. We don't know what happens in these things because we visit different worlds. So my first question to you today would be to tell us about your world. Just a few things about your world.
Actually, I'm living in quite an amazing world. I have just started to realize how amazing this world is, because I have now the tools to really operate and create in this world. And this is a new world opening up to me at the moment, where I feel that I really am holding my world in my hands, and I can choose to share it with others in the way I want to. I am feeling at home in this world now, finally. I used to feel very, very overwhelmed and confused. What is this life all about here in this world? And then I started to search. I started to search for the tools in the first place to start to learn myself how to be in this world. And then those tools really opened up. And now I know that I can really create the amazing world I feel like creating. So I really love playing here at the moment. It's an open space.
So what is this world like that you talk about? So if you have to tell something to me, like I'm coming from a different place, I've never been here. If you have to say 3 things about this world, what is it that I can go and tell my other people? Just like
it's about sharing. It's about sharing.
Sharing.
Yes. Understanding that I'm sharing this world with a lot of other living beings, whether that is, animals or plants or nature. We have a beautiful nature in this world, full of living beings, and life is pulsating in all beings. But I am a human being in this world, and I can connect. I am here to connect the bigger intelligence of life actually into this world, so I can operate with the principles of life here in the world. And one basic principle after sharing is breathing. So without breathing, without the breath, and that is also the spirit keeping this world together for me, the breath, as long as I breathe, I am alive.
So let me try that.
Yeah, try
breathing.
Try to breathe.
That feels good, I must say.
Yeah.
Even for an alien like me, it feels really good.
Yeah.
And then a wonderful thing happens as well when you speak is that I'm curious, I want to know about your world, So what is it that you do specifically to share with others your world? What is it that you do daily? Humans, I know they talk about job, and they also talk about making a living, all sorts of stuff.
No, I don't talk about that in my world. No.
So, but what do you do in your world? How do you play?
I used to do that. I understand that you have heard that there is a thing like going to work and having a job and making a living. I know I used to live in that world too, but I have changed my world. I contribute because I live in the world of sharing. So I contribute to the other living beings, whether it is support or whether it is I help them to learn a new skill so that they can better cope with the circumstances here, with the natural elements and with each other, because it seems that in this world now we really need to learn better and deeper to be in connection with each other, because everything is interconnected in the world actually. And it seems that we have lost the understanding of what this interconnection means in practice. So now we need to learn how to better communicate and listen, because that is how we human beings share our realities in this world. Because otherwise, how can you know about my world if I don't try to tell you about it like you now ask me? But I am also interested in your world, so I don't assume that you know,
so
you can understand it the same way as I do.
You see, that's very interesting, because in all these plays that I've had with other humans on your planet and in your world, I've discovered that although a lot of people and humans don't seem to really understand it, is that they actually create their own reality. So it's their own experience of this world. So there's this world thing, what you guys call a world and girls call a world, but it's the humans' choice to what they want to experience. But it seems like not a lot of people understand that yet and know that yet, that they actually can do that they're actually responsible for creating their own reality. So if I have to ask you now, what would you say is the skill, the ability that a human need to be able to make that switch that you did? What would you say is the top 3 skills or abilities? Like coming from that old world where their jobs and the way they lived, that they thought that was the only reality. What skills, or what did you do to make this jump to where you realize you actually create and share and do your own thing?
Yeah, that is quite an interesting experience for me. It happened through a very challenging physical breakdown, my health. And somehow came a voice to me saying that change or die. Now you have created this reality, but you can choose and create another reality, because you create your reality. It was kind of a given information to me. So it must be that I have a task here to transform this way, how we relate to the world and our own lives. But I was very confused. What? I didn't understand anything, but I got the message. And from there on, I started to question myself. What is it I need to change? What do I need to change? What is it that is not working? Why don't I feel good about myself? So I think one key thing is to understand about yourself, that yourself, you have the creator in you. You have to find your way back to the creator, to take the full responsibility and to take the action and initiative to be the creator, and consciously creating, because somehow the humans now in this world, they have been conditioned to believe a lot of false things about themselves, that they are powerless, that they are not able to do or whatever, and then they obey and think that that's the only way to go. And I understand, I used to be one of them, so I don't blame anybody for that. This was how I was, pulled out from my sleep, so to say. Like I was living like in a sleep. Yeah, I was sleeping. And then this woke me up, but I was terrified. But I chose to believe it, and because we can work with our beliefs, we can choose to give it a chance, because we have here in this world, we have a free will. So we can really choose, but we have to do it ourselves. Nobody else can choose for us.
What makes it better for you? I've heard that human beings have this need inside of themselves to belong to something, to have togetherness with other people. So when you're telling me that how it was traumatic for you to go through all of that, what would have helped you if this thing of human beings having this togetherness, like having a group of people that's like-minded and understanding and loving and caring and nurturing, would that have helped you at that time?
Yes, it would have helped me.
And do you have something like that now?
Yes.
Such a group?
Yes, I have. And I have been just teaching a group these new skills, and for 5 years now. So it takes many years actually to learn these new skills. For me, it has taken over 10 years. But now I can really see the power and the results from this way of living, where I focus on my presence and through the breathing. So understanding that breathing is life, and life is always here, and life has some certain intelligence and wisdom inside to help me, and I should be in contact with life and myself in my life. So it's kind of some basic principles here that I need to understand about myself and my life as a part of this bigger whole where everything is connected. But I do my share, and when I contribute and share, then this whole thing will operate much better, because it's not about one human being. It's about how we all operate together on this whole planet, our home, in our home. And how do we take care of life in our shared home? So the feeling of belongingness, like you said, that do I feel with what kind of people do I feel at home?
Now, if you could tell us that, what type of people is that? Because we heard also two very interesting concepts, and we're trying to understand it, because for us it's not separate, but there's like-minded humans, like-minded people, and then there's like-hearted people. Now,
sorry, what?
Like-hearted,
like-minded
and like-hearted. And from our experience now with speaking with other humans here on this planet, there seems to be a difference, that some people can be like-minded, so they believe in the same type of things, but their hearts are not necessarily open yet. So they don't easily open their hearts to others, although they have the right intentions. Now, do you have such a group of people, like-hearted people around you, that supports you currently?
Yes, I do. And I have just experienced it over the last couple of years.
And tell us about it.
New experience for me too, and it's just fantastic. It's just amazing to feel this power of like-hearted people who really genuinely want you to flourish, to be everything what you are, and who really supports you and cherishes you and loves you the way you are, so that you can start to bloom and flourish, because human beings are also intended to flourish. So they are not just intended to survive, you know. It's not the point here in this world that we just survive. It's somehow we have this belief that as long as we survive, that's good. No, we can do better. So we can create a world where everybody can flourish and really contribute and bring out the beauty also in this world, because this world is such a beautiful place, and human beings have such a capacity. And it happens through the like-heartedness, that we open our hearts, because the beauty lies there when we really listen to our hearts. Like-minded people, they can feel well together, because they feel kind of a safety in that, okay, we believe and think in the same way. Yes, then everything is good. But how open are they to really open up to different points of views? It might be that they are very, very restricted in their way of thinking. Because if the heart is not guiding the thinking, then it's all about that yes, maybe this is the right way to be in this world. Yeah, maybe there's only one way to be in this world. Instead of a diverse way of being here.
Yeah, that's very interesting, because I think from our perspective, from where we look at from our reality, that would actually transform a lot of issues that humans currently have, if they start to realize that. But now I want to also go a little bit deeper into that part that you share, because I think it's also good for my people to understand that. The types, you said you have these type of people around you. Do they have a name? Does the group have a name? What are their vision? Why are they here on Earth? What are they doing here on Earth? If you have to say that, what's their purpose to be here? Or is it not clear?
Well, this group is now gathering together from all over the world, and they have given it a name called the Global Renaissance Society.
It sounds like my dear old friend Leonardo da Vinci has something to do with that too.
He was a real Renaissance. And he was really operating with his full capacity, doing good for humanity, for showing a new way to humanity, for giving new tools, And so it seems that this group of people now gathering in Global Renaissance Society, they want to show this way of living in reality. How did they transform, and how can they, provide with the skills needed to do this transformation, to operate from a like-hearted perspective and with an open heart, and also sharing the beauty and the talents that you have with the world. So they are really keen on showing a new way of being in this reality, showing the world that we can, because human beings, we can evolve as much as we want to. It's really, we have all the capacities and tools to evolve, because there is evolution here in this world too. On this planet, there is evolution. And evolution is constantly bringing us forward to embrace higher potential, higher order, higher possibilities. And it seems like when enough big group of people are coming together with both the strong belief that this is possible, and with the heart that, yes, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm here to do now. This is really what feels so important to me in my heart. Then we will really start to see a shift here in this world.
You see, that's very exciting. And I have to tell you that I think what's most impactful and fascinating is that you are representing it. You are present in it. Your story is that story. It is that possibility that it's possible that we can either think we're stuck in one reality and that is it, it's the only way, or we can get these skills to be able to create our own realities, and then to have the right support structures around us, make it much more easier, but also more can happen. Now, where I come from, for example, for us it's all about play and joy and creativity, and we consult the bigger universe, the other universes as well. So I was wondering what's going to happen if me and you come together now and we just for a few moments sense into what other possibilities are available and possible, because in our perspective there's infinite possibilities available that we can create. So it's actually wondrous. It's like a girl in a Smartie shop, in a sweet shop. You don't know which sweet to choose, but you do know you have the capability to actually create every single one. But you will create the one that's more heart-centered, that's really coming from within you. So I was wondering if we can play a little bit and just from this world's coming together now, see what type of world, and we will just take a few minutes to sense into that in whatever way you do it in your world and me do it in my world, and we see what comes up that we can share this with the world. This is another possibility. And everybody has that possibility to be able to sense into what possibilities are possible. And then there's another process to decide if it's really coherent and aligned with who we are personally. And then in a collective way as a group, and as you, in your sense, humanity and the universe, whatever name you have for it.
Yeah, true. It's important that you file what resonates, what I call in tune. Are you in tune with who you are and your purpose and your passion, and then in tune with the universal mind and what is here in the bigger blueprint, whatever we want to call it. There are many names for that, but am I serving the highest good for the whole?
I like the word whole. We don't work with polarities. It's wholeness. There's no such thing as polarities, but that's something for another day that we can play with. So I would just like to invite you just for a few moments also together with me now. We have this intention to allow the collective wisdom and intelligence, and whatever you others want to call it, to inform us of a specific type of reality, and then we see what comes up.
Yeah, okay.
So let's take just a few moments and sense into that, in whatever way feels good to you, and that must always feel good, otherwise it's also not perfect and right. When you're ready, you can come back. I'm like so excited about what I saw. It's so beautiful when worlds merge, actually.
Yeah.
And still having your own world as well, the individuality and being part of the joint world. So I'll go first. There was this huge mountain, and at the top of the mountain was this huge pot of chocolate and like fondue sticks. But the fun part was there was lots of children at the bottom dancing around this mountain. So it's a huge mountain, so it's lots of children. They're all very colorfully dressed. They're light-hearted. They're very curious. They want to know what's on the top of the mountain. But they first just dance on the most beautiful music. And there's absolutely they all know they are unique. Each is unique, but they're different from the others. But there's this uniqueness. So there's not sameness, but there's oneness because they're dancing together. And then suddenly, as out of like a synchronized moment, they all run up the mountain almost effortless. Like this, like we would do mountain climbing, they were running up the mountain effortlessly. And they get at the top, but they cannot see the pot of chocolate yet. So they all automatically, spontaneously turn outwards, looking outwards from where they are. And what do they see? They see these rays, like rays from the sun, your sun, all different colors. It's like your rainbow, but all over, different colors in rays. And they get this urge to go and go on each and go and play in each ray. So they're jumping down, they're gliding down, they're jumping down, whatever, tumbling forward, whatever they feel like, especially the boys. And they feel what this ray is like. And then if they just sense for a moment into their bodies, feel what it feels like. Is it like their body's glowing? It's exciting. It feels so good. Or do they feel contracted? This is not a nice one. And then instead of going back all the way, they know they can just jump to another one. And then they will play there with others who's there in that ray as well. Till again, they just take a moment to see, do I still want to be here, or do I want to go and try another one out? And if I do find one that I really like, I can actually stay here as long as I want. And then they go slowly outwards as this process is happening. There's no time yet, it's timeless. And as I go out to the circumference of these rays and the outside, they look back at the mountain. And then suddenly they smell chocolate. And every little child loves chocolate, whether their parents told them it's good or not. And as if they have wings, they fly up to the mountain. And they dip into this chocolate. And they start playing with each other inside of the chocolate. But they discover something very interesting when they now look out around them. That's not separate from them, the world. They are the world, each of them. And they go out into the bigger world every day to play with others, to make things, to create things, to learn things, to explore. But they actually themselves are the world. So they can decide what this world must be like. That's what I was seeing.
So delicious.
And much joy. And
very much joy.
And dancing and singing children. Happy children.
Happy children, happy children. That is what this world really, really, loves. Happy children. Happy children is the most, then we know that we are all doing well when our children are happy. Then we are also happy, and the happy adults. Yeah, what came up for me during this moment of sharing the silence and the space between us. Interesting you said about the rainbow, because I saw immediately a rainbow, and a rainbow kind of bridging two worlds, that there's always a bridge between worlds. And I was in a way standing up on the rainbow, also maybe feeling like I am the bridge between the worlds. And it's important that we have people who can be that bridge to a new world, a new way of being. And then when I was just standing there and I was just thinking, okay, what happens now? You know, here I am. What is next? Then somehow the rainbow opened up to become a kind of a cradle, like this, and I was just falling into the rainbow and feeling. I felt all the colors around me in the rainbow, and I was just like, you know, it was like a cradle. So it seems that I don't have to do anything. I just have to be there on that bridge between the worlds. So it was a very, very empowering moment just to be there.
It's fascinating with the rainbow, your symbolism on both sides. And as you're speaking, I could just imagine that the people from my reality would love to come to this type of mountain with the rainbows and even your bridge. But the fascinating thing that now comes up is that you actually have seen something that's part of our world. The Rainbow Bridge. We have a special school, but in our world we don't speak about schools. We don't speak about education. We have a different universal language that actually we've discovered that all humans understand as well. And it's called the language of energy. So with us, our young people, and we also don't have age actually, not at all, but the people who's been there the longest, we have, for our younger people in terms of your language, they don't have an age, so they're timeless. But in this Rainbow Bridge, what we call conservatory, so it's not a school, but in your terms it would be a school. We have something like that where everybody can come and learn about different worlds and how to create them, all the tools that you were speaking about. So whether they are in your world older or younger, doesn't matter, they can come. So that was fascinating that you saw that bridge and I saw something out of your world, the kids, because we don't refer to younger people as children. We don't
right, yes. So we
only refer to them as, in your world, we would say humans. They're not children, older people, younger people at all. They're just humans. And then if you want to put the heart-centered part in, that's even more beautiful. Heart-centered humans. But it was interesting to see that I tapped into your world a little bit, and you tapped into my world a little bit. And that's what we love with this thing, my world, your world or mine. Show me yours and I'll show you mine.
Yeah.
Because I think the fascinating part is that when people start to, and humans specifically, start to explore other people's realities for just a little bit, they might just like it. And they might just consider, okay, I want to spend time in this reality. Recently, I had a very interesting experience. I was visiting another reality, and whoa, were I traumatized. My body didn't want to do this thing. I had all this resistance to that reality. Not that there's anything wrong with that reality. So I honor those people in that reality. It's their world. But I couldn't fit in. I couldn't be myself there. So I went for a very frustrating time. And I had to make a decision and also put a boundary to say, no, I don't want to experience that. I've had it, but it's not bad or good. It's simply not mine. I don't resonate, like you used the word earlier, resonate. And that was fascinating for me as well, to experience being in another reality of somebody else without judging it, and simply being there. And then being drawn into it very deeply and then to realize that this reality is not for me. And I think, but the children for me in that visual that came up was also, they knew they could say no to a specific ray. It's
true, they could.
It's to stand in your true power. In our world, is you can say no, you can have a very distinctive, clear boundary without judging the other one.
Yeah, yes.
And if it doesn't bring joy in our world, then you don't do it. Because then there's something wrong, not with that reality, but with you in that reality.
Yes, maybe because I don't resonate with that reality. It's
exactly.
I'm not in tune in that reality. Yes.
So it's very beautiful how these two visuals now come together here, and the things that comes, and I think we can speak for hours about it.
Yeah.
And I would love to do that, but there's one last question that I actually have for you. Now I don't even know what it is. I have to ask them, my people. What will I ask her about her world?
Yeah.
It's all about flow. How would you say? It's very difficult for people from other realities where they're stuck in one to understand the concept flow. What would you say that is?
Well, for me, flow means that I am in tune with my own being and my guidance. So like I'm listening to my intuition, to what the inner voice is saying, because as a concrete example, when I heard that voice, change your Dharma, now you have created this and you can create another reality. And then started, when I make the choice, then the flow started, that I received the right helpers came to me, the right information started to emerge to me, and all what we now in this world even call synchronicities. It's like, okay, where do they come from? But for me, it's the flow of the universal wisdom guiding us on that we are finding our way back home to who we really are. And the flow of when you receive this information and you act on it, and then you give further on, because you are part of the flow of another person. So we are all part of each other's flow, because let's say I might be giving you the right piece of information, or another person the right piece of information at the right moment, and then their flow can go on. So here again we are part of creating that flow, and therefore it's important that we all wake up to this other way of being and doing things, that we are guided from inside instead of from outside. So like those children, what you said, they were in flow and they were suddenly all going into the chocolate and sharing that experience. And that is how nature works too, the flow, the natural flow. It's just being in the naturalness, and as with a little thinking as possible. And then when you face a situation, you can start to think about it. Okay, what is needed now? Where am I now? And you reflect on where you are. But the flow is the wisdom of life, the creative flow. So, and of course the constant movement, because life is constantly moving. Life is not stagnating. Life is a dynamic movement all the time, a vibration, and you are vibrating. So the flow of allowing that vibration to constantly tell you information about where you are.
That's beautiful. I think my people like that. They might just want to come and visit your world as well.
Oh, it would be nice. We would need some new influences here.
Yeah, and in our world as well, and I know it's part of it, I already know it's part of your world as well, is that once we know, like we did now, we have received all this information, and we won't even care where it comes from. We know it's it's the right frequency in our languages, is that we can then do something with that. So it's not only that we become a consumer, because I've also learned in your world, and sometimes in my world, people just consume everything. It's not only stuff, it's also knowledge. They don't do anything with it.
No, I have noticed the same, yes.
Yes, so then there's the creating part, and that's for us some of the most relevant skills we can have, abilities, is to sensing into what's happening, and then to do something, to make something, to create something with it. And then there's a third part as well, which is embodiment, in being it. So that's all very interesting. And I'm really thankful that you shared the part about flow, because I think like I said, for my people, and my ones up there, wherever they are, they would like to experience that flow. And I think a lot of humans that I've been speaking to already as well, and engaging with, would want to experience flow as well. So I think you better have to set up some type of experience that we can do online with people to show them what this thing flow is, that they can actually have a direct experience, not just hear about it. Exactly. They can actually feel it and really feel it in the body and everywhere and all of who they are. So that's very exciting.
Yeah, and you know, it's a separate feeling. It's a specific feeling when you feel the flow.
And for us, that boils down to joy, because that by itself brings joy. You don't have to do anything to get that joy, because it's a natural thing that comes out of that experience. I know that some of the famous people call it peak experiences, for example, and that's what we play with all the time. Is we create them on the dot, on the spot.
Yes,
and then we naturally become in that flow, because it takes us immediately. We don't have to do it. It's like you say, effortless.
Yes. And it's so deeply fulfilling, because you know that you can bring out the most, you know, out of any situation when you are in this flow. Any situation can turn into something magical, and because here in this kind of flow is also love present. Love, because love wants to really bring out the highest good, whatever that is, you know, so that we can evolve, and anything can turn into that joy when you bring it up and allow the power of love to transform it.
Well, talking about love, it's good you remind me of that, because I almost forgot about it. Is a little birdie told me that you recently has published a book. Now, in our terms, it's a living thing. You know, we don't call it a book because it's a living organism. But let's talk about your book just for a few seconds, a few moments. Tell us about this book, because there's something in the title about love. Will you refresh my memory, please?
Yes. Letters to Myself with Love is the name of the book, yes.
What is it about? What is it about?
It's about to really release the self-love that is needed for you to really become this creative being, so that you dare to go out there and do your thing, and you dare to share your creative gifts with the world, and you dare to shine and spread the light of who you are, and also through that love. But it's like you bring out your instrument to fully, you know, be in tune with everything what you are. So it's kind of, you radiate this diamond, you're in a diamond when you are completely present in your body, and that is the embodiment of everything that you are. So, and the journey, those letters I was sending to people in my, you know, community and in my business community. And when I wrote them purely from my heart, because I really felt that I would love to give them my true experience, so that they could have a real experience from the power of the words, by feeling the words in your body. So this book should be read with your body. You should read it with your body. You should feel the resonance of your body when you read it. So it's not about thinking about it so much, but just feel into it. And I still myself listen to those texts, that where am I now? And it has taken me many years to embrace the self-love. It seems like we humans now in this reality, we are very critical and hard on ourselves. We don't really believe that we are good inside, and that we are love inside, and that we are here to bring out that love. No, we are very hard on ourselves, and we are critical to ourselves. And I want to change that. I want to change that, because that is the way to create this new world, when I am feeling love towards myself, and then I invite other people to accept themselves. And because we have now created a lot of well, how do you want to call it, damage, but we have wrong perceptions. We have operated from a wrong perception about reality, about who we are and what this reality is. And we need to correct that. And that book, I hope, can support that process.
That's beautiful. Wow. What a beautiful way to share also with my people. So let your people speak to my people. And let that book go all across the universe. That's beautiful. It's already doing that. I can feel it. So thank you for that, and for the time for you to actually make it possible that it can be shared in this way. So if you have the last few words for my reality and my world, what would that be?
I really feel deep joy to be in contact with you, to be in contact, to invite you to this reality, to be the part of the transformation, the bridge. The bridge is maybe that we need you in this transformation. We need help to do this transformation, because it seems that you already understand so much about that we should not categorize people according to age or you know, whatever. We would need this really, really open space to unfold the new idea of the human being, and really invite you to be part of this fascinating evolutionary journey.
It feels very good in my body, I have to tell you. And you have to also understand and know that there's so much resonance, and everybody who's going to experience this in whatever way, whether it's in my world or your world or others' world, is that there's this golden thread. Like you said, everything is interconnected. That's when we played that little game that we both saw rainbows, just in different contexts. But the essence are the same. Life, we were talking about breath. That really excited me. And from our perspective on where we come from, words actually are almost impossible to explain the excitement, because like that bridge that you saw, the rainbow bridge, I just see beings, humans, whatever you want to call it, running up and down, engaging with each other, making most beautiful things together, and creating most beautiful realities for others to come and experience, to have a direct experience, and see if they feel resonant with that or not. And that they can also, like you say, uncover this inside of them, that they have that creator, because that for us is key. Recognize the creator within yourself.
Yeah.
And everything much what we do is also about that. But in the end, it's about the essence of joy. So we have what's called a joy generation. I know in other worlds they call them millenniums. They again categorize, but for us, everybody can be, regardless of age or what they've done in their lives, can become part of the joy generation. So on our side, we would like you and your people to come part of the joy generation, because we believe that's one of the parts where we can change each other's realities and contribute to it and enrich it and make it more joyful. Because for us, this breathing that you speak about, that's all about joy. Mm-hmm. And our understanding of it is that it happens spontaneously. We don't have to do anything for it. You wake up in the morning and it's there. You wake up in the middle of the night and it's there. So it's not this doing thing.
No.
It's not this doing thing. It's the being part first, and then the creating and making and playful stuff after. So we're very delighted that we could play today your world or mine, and show me yours and I'll show you mine. So maybe next time if you want, I can show you a little bit about my world.
Oh yes, I would love to hear about your world. Yes.
Yes, and then we can see what also comes up there, because we now have a choice, like you said, also what we can do with this.
Yes.
And you have given an invitation, and I have, and let's see what happens.
Yes, let's continue, and then you show me your world.
Oh wow! Are you ready?
Let's see what happens. If I get totally blown away and I'm not ready, but then okay, I do my best.
No, I'm just purely mischievous. Just know that. No, it will be. I don't think you'll be running away. You don't have anywhere to run to. You have Earth, and you cannot fall off the Earth, so you're gonna have a problem.
No, the Earth, the Earth is very, very pulling me down.
Exactly.
That's the gravity of the Earth. So it's really like, as long as I'm here in this body, I will be very much.
You won't run away. Believe me.
No, I don't want to run away. And really, in my embodiment, I really want to feel it in my body.
So it's like humans say they're making love. It's making love with the whole universe. That's wonderful.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
Mm-hmm. We will not tell more about that yet.
No.
So thank you, Harriet. I really appreciate that you're playing with us today and for sharing your experience, your perception, and your aspirations and visions for the world, for their world, all that is. Thank you very much.